How many times have you heard it? Just ignore her, play hard to get, make her chase you. And how many times has that advice left you standing alone, watching her walk away? I've been there. That knot in your stomach, the regret. We're told to be confident, to be bold, but then also to be aloof, to create mystery. It's a contradiction that leaves most men utterly confused and, frankly, alone. Let's be brutally honest. That advice, just ignore her, it's a half-truth, a dangerous oversimplification that paralyzes good men. It turns you into a passive observer, waiting for a sign that might never come. I used to think that being uninterested was the key. I'd stand there, trying to look cool, trying to look busy. And you know what happened? Nothing. She'd eventually leave, and I'd be left with the bitter taste of what if. I remember one night, years ago. I was at a bar, trying my best to embody this ignore her philosophy. There was a woman, occasionally glancing my way. My heart was pounding, but I forced myself to look at my phone. She caught my eye once, and I quickly looked away, thinking I was playing it perfectly. A few minutes later, she walked past me, heading for the exit. As she passed, she paused and gave me this look, a mix of curiosity and disappointment. Then she was gone. That look haunted me. It wasn't a look of, he's playing hard to get. It was a look of, he's not interested. And I realized, in that moment, how badly I had misunderstood the game. It's not about ignoring women. It's about ignoring the wrong signals and recognizing the right ones. The green lights. The undeniable invitations that scream, talk to me. These aren't subtle hints you need a decoder ring to understand. These are clear, actionable signals that she is not only open to interaction but actively hoping for it. And when you see them, your job isn't to ignore. Your job is to act. So, what are these green lights? Let's break them down. Not as a checklist, but as a narrative of how a woman truly expresses interest. First, and perhaps the most powerful, the sustained glance and genuine smile. This isn't a fleeting look. This is her eyes meeting yours, holding for a beat longer than polite, and then a genuine smile spreading across her face. Not a forced, polite smile, but one that reaches her eyes. I saw this once, with Sarah. We were at a coffee shop. I looked up, and her eyes were already on me. She held my gaze, and then this slow, warm smile bloomed. My old self would have looked away. But that night at the bar had changed me. I took a deep breath, held her gaze, and offered a small smile back. She nodded almost imperceptibly. A minute later, I walked over. "Hey," I said. "I couldn't help but notice you have excellent taste in coffee shops." It was cheesy, but it broke the ice. We talked for an hour. That sustained glance, that genuine smile, it was her way of saying, the door is open. Next, pay attention to physical orientation and proximity. Is she positioning herself near you? Is her body angled towards you, even if she's talking to someone else? Is she finding reasons to be in your orbit? I remember being at a networking event. I was chatting with a colleague when I noticed Maria. She was across the room, but every time I looked up, she seemed to be a little closer. Eventually, she accidentally ended up right next to our group, listening in, occasionally making eye contact with me. My old self would have thought, she's just moving around the room. My new self recognized the pattern. She wasn't just moving, she was moving towards me. When there was a natural pause in our conversation, I turned to her. "Hey, I haven't seen you around before. What brings you here?" It was a simple question, but it acknowledged her presence, and it opened the floodgates. She had been waiting for that invitation. Then there's open body language and accidental touches. Her arms aren't crossed, her hands are open. She laughs at your jokes, even the bad ones, and her head might tilt back in genuine amusement. And then, the subtle touch, a light brush of her hand on your arm when she makes a point, or a playful tap on your shoulder. These aren't random, these are deliberate, albeit subconscious, attempts to bridge the physical gap. I was once talking to a woman named Chloe at a friend's party. I made a terrible pun, and she genuinely belly laughed, her hand briefly resting on my forearm. My internal alarm bells went off. Green light. My old self would have frozen. My new self saw it for what it was, an invitation for more connection. I leaned in slightly, lowered my voice, and continued the conversation, making her feel like she had my undivided attention. The touch wasn't just a touch, it was a test, and I passed by responding with engagement, not withdrawal. The brutal truth is this: if you're waiting for her to literally walk up to you, tap you on the shoulder, and say, "I find you attractive, please talk to me," you're going to be waiting a very long time. Women give these green light signals because they want to be approached, but they also want to feel like they're not being aggressive, or that they're not making themselves too vulnerable. They're giving you the opening, the permission, the clear path forward. Your job is to recognize it and walk through that door. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about recognizing these signals, trusting your gut, and acting despite the fear. It's about understanding that when these green lights are flashing, the sustained eye contact, the genuine smile, the physical orientation, the open body language, the light touches, she's not just being polite. She's giving you the go-ahead. She's telling you, without words, that she wants you to talk to her. So, stop ignoring. Stop playing games that leave you isolated. Start observing. Start responding. When she gives you the green light, step on the gas. That's not playing hard to get. That's being a man who understands how to connect, how to read the world around him, and how to seize the opportunities that are clearly presented. Everything I talked about today is a learnable skill. If you want the exact system to develop it, I've left a link to the best resource I know in the description below.